Here you can see a finished set with a probably Russian manicure done, but you see that everywhere there are wounds. Everywhere. The cuts are not beautiful and straight. There are still skins popping out. In the sinus, we still have residue. This thing has made it more difficult to apply the color nice and even. Here as well, you can see it. The color also looks not beautiful round. It looks not clean enough, and this comes because of the cuticle, because all the impurities that are over there. If in this manicure the powder technique would have been used, would have absorbed first all the moist, and then it would have made much more easy for you to remove all these little parts, seeing the limit between the proximal fold, the eponychium, and the part that should not be cut, and seeing the dry skin that we actually remove. So this set, when it comes to the manicure, it is absolutely not clean. Yes, the person tried to do a clean manicure. Yes, the growth, it will look still nice after a few weeks because you will not have a big distance from the eponychium, from the lunula downwards. You will not see very fast the growth because there's no limit in between the cuticle and the color that has been applied. But the end result, in time, the client, it will not receive beautiful cuticles. They are going to grow chaotic, they can get too dry, or they can just get annoying, and it's even the chance to get an inflammation, because look at the wounds. It's no nail that has no wound. Everywhere you see a lot of redness, and it's not like you see redness under the skin because the cuticle is sensitive and it has been a little bit disturbed, and the blood vessel just got a little bit inflamed during the treatment of the manicure. It's simply because these are literally wounds. So this, please do not do. If you encounter a difficult type of manicure, better try it the safe way. Try to do the classic updated manicure, the one when we use simply a cuticle pusher, cuticle remover, and scissors. But if you insist too much like this, in time the results are not going to be okay. Talking about the pusher, always, please, always, if you perform any kind of combi manicure, dry manicure, if you perform a manicure where you have to use an e-file, you have to use a diamond bit, do never do this. Do never push back the cuticle and lifting it in one movement in the same time with your bit. Because while doing this, it's not only that you are going to damage the cuticle and the underneath skin, it can get a little bit more like zigzagged, broken wrong, but you damage first the natural nail plate, and that's a no-go. Yes, so always we push back the cuticle, we create a beautiful cuticle pocket, and only afterwards we are going to actually try to do and to perform the electric manicure. Here as well, you can see a damaged cuticle, and let's say that's not such a huge problem, yes, because nobody is perfect. It can happen to anybody, and that's alright as long as it's not every client, as long as it doesn't happen every time, and as long as you're working also with clean, disinfected, and sterilized tools that really correspond with the hygiene rules. But the thing that it's not okay in this picture, the most, if we make abstraction of this wound over here, is all this residue that we see in the sides. You see this? These are little skins, part of skins popping out that have not been removed. Here as well, the product has touched in it, and here of course I do not have a really clean picture, just blurry. I do not have a really clean picture around the cuticle to see exactly if it's smooth and out of knit, but it does look a little bit like this, like a zigzag. It does not look straight. So pay attention to cuticle. Again, once you have really cleaned very good your periungual grooves, you clean your sides, you clean everything, your end result, it will be 10 times better than with somebody else who works fast like this, even though the nails, her nails are also lasting, even though the nails are, let's say, growing beautiful, the client gets no infection, the cuticles are growing normal, because not every client that gets a wound will also be affected by that, and it will get directly disturb the growth and the normal process of the growing of the cuticle. But it will make the difference between you being an expert and somebody else being just an average nail stylist. Another thing, do never start with your procedure, no matter what you're going to do, extension, recalibration, new set, standard set or natural nail. Do never start making any extension or making anything on the nail before performing the manicure. As you can see, here has been nothing done, just too much over file the natural nail plate. This is extreme, and this will give damage, huge damage to the natural nail plate. So when the nail grows, it may not last so good with product on it. This kind of nail can also get much faster allergies, because it allows to the chemicals from the products that we are using to penetrate deeper. So please pay attention to the way you are working. I know everybody does things wrong, sometimes in a hurry, sometimes you press too hard, sometimes the client moves. It may happen, but when you have things like this being part of the majority of the works you're doing, there you should trigger an alarm, and you should make a step back, recap all the knowledge from standard anatomy, everything you know about types of manicures and how to perform the manicures, and then move forward. And if you don't have that knowledge, just simply join a training or rejoin a training, because even I did some trainings twice, the same training, because I have just not involved myself enough the first time, just in order to get the right information and to make it stay. And why I'm telling you this, because I want you to take notes. Take notes, make the signs and the knowledge acknowledges everywhere where you think it's necessary. So once this training will be done and you look back, you will remember what you needed to learn. I have one more picture to show you about manicure, which, if it is to analyze it really good, we can see a little sparse edge at the cuticle. But in this nail here and the index finger, I cannot really say if from this picture if it was really necessary to cut to remove that cuticle or not. But what I can say is that all the dust that has not been cleaned before, everything, and the laterals, the nail folds that have not been cleaned, are leading to a result that is far from professional. Even if she would have put on this picture, she would have applied cuticle oil and tried to actually make the nail not look so dry, still the result was not going to be okay. So I will insist, please, first step first, always clean your cuticle in the most ideal, closest to the ideal look, depending on the type of the cuticle you have, to never end up with something like this. And when you have to start applying product, always remove the dust first, make sure it's everything nice and clean, and then you go forward with your product. In this video, you can see in this picture, in particular picture, you can see what happens when you perform a wrong manicure. As you can see here, the manicure, the set, it's 1 week old, and look how chaotic everything is growing. This means that either the product has probably given a reaction, we are not sure, because this picture is taken from somewhere where people were asking if there's a reaction or something. But I would not say that there's a reaction just looking by the picture, but of course we cannot really set a diagnosis of it. But If it would have been an allergy or reaction, we should have seen also some extra redness, which we don't see, but we do see dryness, a lot of dryness. And a cuticle that has been done 1 week ago should never look like this in 1 week. A combi manicure that has been performed 1 week ago should never look like this. And I know a lot of nail stylists are also placing the guilt on the client because the client does not apply oil. The client is always with her hands in the water, etc. Yes, that has an influence too. But when you see all these irregularities, just like in this picture, that's not the client. That's your technique. Either the cuticle was not smoothed out, either was just removed there and there, either you have worked too aggressive. So pay attention to the technique, work slowly, and then when your manicure is correctly done, move to applying product. And after you have mastered the skills of a correct manicure, then you can focus on learning new techniques, new extensions, new types of nail art. Manicure is the base. You cannot build a house without a strong base. And the same like the other picture, here we have the real proof of a very aggressive manicure and wrong position of the electric file. You can see that the natural nail has been filed, the cuticle has been doubled, but it's not the skin that's dry and doubled, it's actually layer of the natural nail that's growing. And this comes because of the too aggressive, maybe too fast manicure performed, the speed too high to the electric file, or maybe the angle. So there can be more stuff, more reasons that can lead to a result like this. But this is also 1 week, maximum 2 weeks set all nails, and look how everything looks. You can see everywhere these kind of errors, and that's not okay. So if your client happens to come back with cuticles, even if it's just 1 finger from all the 10 looking like this, yes, you may make mistakes too. Yes, I have done mistakes too during manicure with my clients. Everybody does it. But then pay attention and trigger that alarm. Hello, I'm here. I'm gonna work correctly. So I'm gonna be very gently now so I do not do this anymore. Yes? I hope it's clear, and I hope you understand how important it's a clean manicure and a clean performed result of a clean result of a manicure, no matter which technique of manicure you use, but your cuticle area should be clean, dust free. Any kind of impurities should be removed before proceeding to the next step.